What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I had nostalgia on my mind. I was thinking about, just being a kid again. I actually had texted one of my cousins and just caught up with them a little bit, and then I just thought about like stuff we used to do as kids, fighting over who's what Power Ranger or who gets to be player one, just random stuff like that. And it got me thinking about nostalgia and how a lot of people are stuck in nostalgia. And I think that nostalgia has its place, but I think that it also can be kind of a just something that we hold on to. I'm trying to think of the right terminology, but I can't. Just something that we won't let go of, the past. And while the past is beautiful and memories are beautiful, and it's great to have memories and make memories, no doubt about that at all. I think that we kind of cling on to nostalgia a little bit too much. If, for example, so my family suffers with addiction, my mother, grandmother, etc. And every time that I would go over there over the years or whatever, it'd be the same conversation every time. Talk about stuff from the past, holding on to the past. And I noticed this pattern after a while. And realize, like, we don't ever do anything new. We don't ever make new memories. We don't ever talk about the now. We never go and do things as a family, or I never hear about them doing things on their own as a family. I do things, me, Mia, my friends, and all that stuff. We would do things and make memories and new moments and be in the present and stuff like that. But I would always notice my family just clinging onto the past, talking about the past, blah blah blah. And then I've seen it in other people's families as well. When I would go over to people's houses, whether that be my fiance's family, whether that be a friend's family, whatever. I see online people, stuck on certain video games that they used to play when they were like 5 years old, and they're like 35 now, still playing the same game, not like seeking anything new out of life. People like spend their entire life's money like collecting old Star Wars figurines from whenever they were little kids. Like, more power to you, that's great. But I think that we cling on to the past and nostalgic things so much that it inhibits us from creating new memories, living in the moment, living in the present. And I think that's ultimately a negative thing whenever you're doing it too much. Because whenever at Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that, yeah, that's a great time to talk about the past. But if you're going over to your family's house every weekend, blah, 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 hanging out, and the same repetitive stories get told over again. And it's like people don't even notice that they're not conscious about what they're doing, what they're saying, anything like that. Yeah, I just think that that's something we need to kind of just be aware of and look at as a society and as people trying to live in this world. Like, don't get too hung up in the past, because then you're always longing for that perfect time in your life whenever you were innocent, young, and then you kind of take yourself out of the present, which takes you out of the feeling that you can do anything that you want to in the moment. Like, you can have those same feelings that you had whenever you were a kid, fighting over who's player one or who's going to be the Power Ranger or who's, like, you can feel those things again in present moments. You can go play in the wood, you can build a fort, you can learn something new, you can do a million things. Obviously I can go on forever, but that's what I wanted to share today. Wanted to let people be more aware of and think about it with themselves. I kind of want to do a video about video games in the future, because that's something that I've been affected by in my lifetime, and I see it all over the world now, like especially in young boys, young men. Everyone's addicted to video games, it seems like, and we just kind of societally accept it as, oh well, that's just that's his hobby. But that's not even a hobby. I'll go into this in the future more, but what I'm getting at is I feel like a lot of people stuck on video games are stuck in nostalgia, like the feelings that video games gave you as a kid, your favorite game, yada yada yada. I think that's a big reason why it's cool to see Nintendo doing stuff like that, and they're releasing old childhood games and everyone's hyped about all that stuff. in the past like year or two. You know, seeing Nintendo movies like Mario that came out, which is cool. It's fine. You know, I'm not a hater. I'm not gonna bash anyone, but I think that people need to limit their time on these things and whatnot. And I'll do a video on that later. But yeah, the past was there. The past was great. You had it. You lived it. You experienced it. Now you're in the present. Make something new that you can talk about in 5 years versus always talking about 20 years ago, then 25, then 30, then blah, blah, blah. Like so on, so on, so on. Move forward. Make new moments, make new memories, make new nostalgia. Nostalgia doesn't have to be always in the past. There's always a moment in your life to make a new memory that'll be nostalgic in the future. And I just don't want people to get caught up in their same routines and same way of living and thought process and longing for the past and how easier things used to be. Yes, we go through hard times in life and there are hardships, but I think that we can live a better life, have a greater now moment in life if we just get out of that thought process and start living for the moment. So I hope that this video finds you well. I hope y'all are all doing great today. As I mentioned in my last video, I'm on strike from YouTube, so I'm not doing any of my travel / lifestyle / you know, stuff that I do and that is exciting or whatever. I'm not going to post that until strike is over, which is on April 3rd. I said 4th in the last video, but it's on the 3rd, so I'll get back to posting the first week of April. And I have a video already ready to post. Then I'm gonna have several by the time that's coming around. It'll be my first solo trip by myself in the van camping for a week, so I'm excited to share that with y'all. I know it's a couple months away, so I'm not gonna get too worked up about it right now. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all have an amazing day and appreciate y'all for checking out the channel.